Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path.
Hello. Today we'll be reading Psalm 23. Psalm 23, I'll be reading from the ESV. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Obviously, this is probably one of the most well-known Psalms, definitely, but maybe even one of the most well-known verses in the entire Bible, and for good reason. The imagery and just the comfort that this psalm brings is unmatched everywhere else. It's just a wonderful psalm, and I know most of us can probably even say it from memory. So I was a little nervous trying to think of what to say as we read this psalm, and what hasn't been said already. We've studied this psalm, all of our lives over and over again. But I just thought I'd kind of share with you one thing that stuck out to me that a little bit different this time that I hadn't really noticed before. So I want to highlight verse 4. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. I've always kind of taken that verse as kind of symbolizing a part of your life where maybe you've kind of fallen away, or you're not doing right. You're kind of walking through this death's valley, and bad things are happening, and if you would just do right again, come back to the Lord, then he'll be your shepherd again. And rereading this, I realized that's not really what's happening here. Look at verse 3 right at the end. Really the end of verse 2, he leads me beside still waters, and then at the end of verse 3, he leads me in paths of righteousness for his name's sake. And then immediately after that, it's talking about this walk through the valley of the shadow of death. This is not talking about a time when we've fallen away and we're a lost sheep. This is a time when I think the shepherd is leading us through a difficult path. Even a difficult path through the valley of the shadow of death is still a path of righteousness, like it says in verse 3. And he is still with us. So this isn't a time. This psalm isn't talking about a time when we fall away. This is just talking about parts of our lives that are just more difficult. And why would the shepherd? Why would Jesus? Why would God lead us through this difficult path? And I think it's to get to the other side. He wants us to get to these green pastures that it talks about, and to this table that's prepared in the presence of my enemies, where your cup overflows and goodness and mercy follows all the days of your life. That is the goal. That's where we're going. And sometimes that path might lead through difficult times. That path might lead through the valley of the shadow of death. But as long as we are following our shepherd, then he will be with us. And he will follow us with goodness and mercy all the days of our life. And that's just comforting to me, because those are times I think we're going through now, and many of us have gone through at times in our life when things are difficult. But it's the shepherd that is leading us through these times, and I think overall in the long run we are better for it, to go through a valley, go through a dark and difficult path. We come through the other side stronger, and hopefully come through that in a better place than we were where we were when we started. So, again, what more can we say about this psalm? But those are just some of my thoughts this morning, and I just pray that if you are going through that that valley, you are going through that walk, that you will fear no evil, that you will remember that the Good Shepherd is with us, and that he will give you comfort. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.